Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today let's go over a Leetcode hard question that I just solved on my own. So I'm super happy about this and I'm extremely glad that I was able to come up with my own solution to this question without any assistance. So let's go over it and let me show you how I did it. So this is question 1392, longest happy prefix. So here you're asked to return the longest substring that basically starts with that substring and S ends with that substring, and return an empty string if there's no such value. So let's do exactly that. So let's get every substring. And let's call this substring, add S of J. And then again, if the original string starts with SS, the substring, and ends with it is a suffix of it, and it can't be itself, so and the length of the substring is less than the length of S, then we can just go ahead and keep track of the length of that substring and then also the substring itself. Cool. And at the end, let's sort answer by the lengths and then the substring, and then return answer -1. So obviously, if there's no answer, then just return an empty string as it says here. So let's run this. And that doesn't work. So let's see what's going on. And we want to return the actual string itself, not the length. Okay, submit it. Okay, so you'll notice you get time limit exceeded because this is an n² solution. So let me show you how I optimized it. So basically, if you think about this, if we want both a prefix and a suffix, that makes our job a lot easier because we can just only check one direction because it has to be a prefix and a suffix, right? So if it's not including the other direction, because we don't even care about the other direction, that means that logically we only care about going all the way. We only have to care about the prefixes, right? So that makes the job a lot easier because we can basically just scan from left to right and then ask the same question if S starts with and ends with, right? So let's go ahead and add S of I. And then again, if S dot starts with the current, then we can go ahead and append the length, which is just I plus 1, and then the substring, because if we're on index 0, the length is 1, and then do the same thing, right? So let's run this. And also S dot ends with current, and length of cur less than length of S, because we don't want the last one. We go up to this one. We don't want the last one, right? Scanning from left to right. And let's run this. Submit it. Okay, memory limit exceeded. That is because here, this list grows very, very large. As you can see, this is large. So why don't we try to think of something else? First of all, if it doesn't start with, then we can just not even do this, right? So first of all, if not S dot starts with current, then we can just use process of elimination and just continue. Otherwise, if it ends with it and this is less than S, then that might help a little bit. Let's use this test case again. Okay, still memory limit exceeded, so we need to figure out how to not use this sort of array. And it's actually really simple because if you think about it, we just care about whatever the current index is. If this is valid, then that's going to be the longest we've seen so far because we're scanning from left to right. So we can just keep track of the index if that's valid, right? So big would equal to max of big and I plus 1. And then at the end, instead of this, so if big is still equal to 0, well, if it's equal to 0, then we'll let it do its job because everything up to not including 0 is nothing, right? So we just return S up to big at the end, and that gives us the biggest prefix. And that is satisfying this criteria because they both have to be it. So you can even just eliminate one, as I said, right? So let's run this. Okay, submit it. And there you go. Passes all test cases. So again, I'm super happy that I was able to come up with my own solution to this question without any assistance and solve it completely on my own. So that's it for this video, and thank you for watching.